Hey pandas, it's Miss Jeremiah. I'm back again to continue reading Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. Thank you to all of our panda guest readers. Hopefully we'll get up with a few more. In the meantime, I am so happy to be back reading with you here from our beautiful school library at Pittsboro Elementary. So let's continue. Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. Chapter 31. So, does anybody have a clue as to why we were supposed to find this book? Asked Kyle. He and his teammates were back in the young adult room, staring at the cover of Get to Know Your Local Library. Too early to tell, said Miguel. Let's keep playing. This book will probably make more sense once we go into the other rooms and pick up more clues. Whose turn is it? Asked Akimi. Yours, said Kyle. Flick the spinner. Akimi finger kicked the plastic pointer. Purple, she yelled when the arrow slid to a stop. The 800s. That means you move 8 spaces, mumbled Kyle. Except today. Akimi reached for the card on top of the purple stack. When she saw what was written on it, she frowned. What's the clue? Asked Kyle. Something about literature, rhetoric, or criticism? Asked Miguel. Nope, said Akimi. It's a wild card with a riddle. Read it, said Sierra. I rhyme with Dart and Cracker Jacks. Visit me and find a rhyme for Andy. Peckelman, said Kyle. How'd he get his name on a game card? Bro, said Miguel. Nobody calls Andrew Peckelman Andy. Of course, it could mean Andrew Jackson, the 7th president of the United States. Or Andy Panda, said Akimi. Or Andrew Carnegie, said Sierra. He was a generous supporter of libraries. Okay, said Kyle. Let's concentrate on the first part of the riddle. What rhymes with darts and cracker jacks? Smart and heart attacks, suggested Miguel. Art and bric-a-brac, said Sierra. Art and artifacts, said Akimi. Nailing it. They hurried over to the art and artifacts room. Everybody, check out the display cases, said Kyle. See if anything rhymes with the word Andy. Well, this model of the old bank building is certainly grandy, said Miguel. And the Pharaoh's pyramid and Sphinx would be sandy if they weren't made out of Legos. True, said Kyle, sounding unconvinced about both. Check it out, you guys, cried Akimi, who was studying a row of styrofoam heads sporting hats. This plaid fedora from 1968 was worn by a guy named Leopold Loblolly. So, said Kyle. Well, according to this plaque, Loblolly was one of the notorious Dandy Bandits. Dandy rhymes with Andy. That it does, said Miguel. However, Loblolly does not. Neither does Leopold, added Kyle. Candy rhymes with Andy, said Sierra. She was staring at the objects in a display case under a banner reading, Welcome to the wonderful world of Willy Wonka. Awesome, said Miguel, hurrying over to admire the collection of everlasting gobstoppers, glumptious gobblers, Laffy Taffy, and pixie sticks displayed under glass in a sea of purple velvet. Mr. Lemoncello is a lot like Willy Wonka, said Kyle. You mean crazy? Asked Akimi. I prefer the term eccentric. And Dr. Zinchenko is his Oompa Loompa, said Sierra. Everybody started giggling. Nah, Akimi joked, she's too tall. And not nearly orange enough, added Miguel. The Willy Wonka book was written by Roald Dahl, said Sierra, who, Kyle figured, could name 12 other books the guy wrote too. In it, Mr. Wonka takes Charlie and Grandpa Joe home in a flying glass elevator that crashes through the roof of his chocolate factory. Everybody thought about that for a second. So now we have to find a glass elevator, said Akimi, because there isn't one on the floor plan. But Mr. Lemoncello is just wild enough to build one, said Kyle. And if he did, he probably wouldn't put it on the floor plan. No way, said Miguel. Everybody would want to ride on it. I know I would, said Sierra. So, we're seriously searching for a secret glass elevator, said Akimi. Maybe, said Kyle, maybe not. This is just another piece of a gigantic jigsaw puzzle. We won't see the whole picture until we collect all the pieces. Or someone shows us the box lid, cracked Akimi. Look, it's only 6 p.m. and we're collecting a ton of good information. You mean a ton of random information, said Akimi. Well, said Miguel, once we have more clues, we can use Sherlock Holmes's famous deductive reasoning method to make logical connections between all the random junk. Works for me, said Kyle. But if we're going to play Sherlock Holmes, we need to go spin that spinner and dig up more clues. The game's afoot, said Sierra. Huh? Kyle and Akimi said it together. Sorry. It's just something Sherlock says to Watson whenever he gets excited. Sherlock Holmes. Kyle had just found another bunch of books to add to his reading list. And that concludes chapter 31, friends. Tune in next for chapter 32.